Hello OpenMaze experimenters, I'm Kyle Alsbury-Neely, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create instruction trials for your experiment and display them in a variety of ways using the OpenMaze configuration file. So as you can see, I already have OpenMaze open in the Unity editor, and like always we're going to open our experiment configuration file and dock that beside it. So for this tutorial we'll go to OpenMaze, Configuration Files, Tutorials, Experiment Configuration, and then Instructional Trials. Okay, so now that we have our configuration file docked beside our Unity GUI, let's take a look at what this experiment does. We see that it has a block order of 1, and we see that it has a single block. This block is going to execute trials 1 and 2. And we see that trial 1 is our welcome page, and trial 2 is our end page. And okay, so what do these trials do? Well, we see that trial 1 is our welcome page. We see that it's an instructional trial. And we see that it displays the file welcome.png from the folder tutorial instructions. So where exactly is this tutorial instructions folder found? Anytime you reference a 2D image in the OpenMaze configuration file, OpenMaze is going to look for that image in the 2D objects folder. You can find the 2D objects folder in the projects window by going to streaming assets and then down to 2D objects. And here we find the corresponding folder tutorial instructions from our configuration file. And when we click on that, we see that it contains a bunch of image files. To get a better look at these files, we can navigate to this folder from the OpenMaze project folder. So we'll minimize Unity, open the OpenMaze project folder, navigate to Assets, then down to Streaming Assets, then to 2D Objects, and finally to Tutorial Instructions. And if we scroll down, we'll see that we can find our welcome.png file. And upon opening it, we see that it's just an image file. Also in this folder is our end.png. If we scroll up, we have our end screen. And if we open up Unity once again, and we run this configuration file, we see that we're first presented with the OpenMaze welcome screen. And if we go back to the configuration file, we see that it's displayed for trial time equal to -1. Whenever you set the trial time equal to -1, you must press the trial end key to move on. In this case, the spacebar. So if we go back to Unity, click on the game window, and press the spacebar, we see that trial 2 is then displayed, which is the end screen. And because this is the end of the experiment, trial time doesn't matter. This is just going to stay on the screen until we exit the experiment. You can do that by going back up to the play button and clicking it. Now let's create some new instructions for our experiment. One of the easiest ways to do this is to create instruction files using PowerPoint or another presentation software. So if you scroll down in the tutorial instructions folder, you'll find an instruction trials tutorial PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to go ahead and open that now. And let's create a new instruction screen. Let's create an image that instructs the participant to press the X key to move to the next trial. And once we've created that, you can just go up to File and Export. Change the file type to a PNG file. Click Save As. And we'll just call this image Press X. Make sure just to save this one slide. And now when we navigate back to our tutorial instructions, we see that we have our image, press X to continue. So let's add a trial where the participant must press X to continue. Let's copy our first welcome screen trial and paste it just below. What you should note is that the first line of each trial is just for the experimenter. You can change this to whatever you want to help organize and describe the trial. So we'll just change this from trial 1 to trial 2. And now our previous trial 2 is trial 3, so we'll just change that. And we'll change the description to press X to move on. And we'll change our file from welcome to press X. And then we'll change our trial end key from space to the X key. And let's not forget to add our trial to the trial order. Then hit Control Save to save the configuration file. And let's see what happens when we execute the updated configuration file. Press the spacebar again. And now what you'll notice is if you press the spacebar, nothing will happen. But if you press the X key, we'll move on to our end trial. Perfect. You can see how easy it is to make instruction files and use them in your OpenMaze configuration file. Let's create a few more. Let's go back to our PowerPoint. And let's create a trial where the participant is instructed to wait 3 seconds. And then let's create one more where the participant can either wait 10 seconds or press the P key. And now that we have these instruction trials made, we can export them just like we did previously. Make sure you export them as a PNG file. We'll call this one wait 3. Make sure you only export the one. And then we'll save our other instruction trial. Let's call this one wait or P. And now let's add these instruction trials to our experiment. Again, we can just copy our trials. And we'll rename them. So trial 3, trial 4, and trial 5. Trial 3 will be our wait 3 seconds trial, which will refer to the file wait 3. Trial 4 will be wait 10 seconds or press P. Wait or P. And then let's make sure that our instruction trials do what they instruct the participant to do. So for our wait 3 second, we want to change our trial time from -1 to 3. And for our wait 10 seconds or press P trial, we'll change our trial time to 10. And we'll change our end key to P. Let's not forget to go back up and add our new trials to the trial order. and make sure that you save the configuration file. And then we'll go back into Unity and run our new experiment. Okay, so we see our welcome page. Press space, press X. We'll wait 3 seconds. Then we're taken to our wait 10 seconds or press the P to continue. Let's press the P to continue. And when we do that, we get our end trial. And now you know how to easily create instruction trials and display them in a variety of ways through the OpenMaze configuration file.